What up, YouTube? It's me once again, back with another episode. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me start that over. What up, YouTube? It's your boy, the one, the only, the infamous Elroy here, back with another episode. Told you I was going to double upload. I came through. I'm coming through today once again. Gotta put on these gloves real quick. It's getting a little cold, a little chilly where I'm at. So, you know the name, you see the title. My mom tried to run me over for Christmas this year. Go figure, right? But before I get into the full meat and potatoes of that, I want to just piggyback on my previous episode, just real quick, just a little bit more. Gotta tell you about what's been going on with me and, just what I've been doing and chilling and whatever, whatnot. And frankly, I don't want YouTube to cancel me. Because when I tell this story, I'm probably do a whole lot of cussing and I'm probably going to get triggered. So with that being said, YouTube, please do not bury my video and a bunch of other videos. Please don't. But yeah, first off the bat, Corey X Kenshin is back. Let's give it up for Corey coming back. Don't know how long he's gonna stay, but I'm happy he's back. I just know I'm appreciate him while he's still here. Give him his flowers, whatever, whatnot. He's got a manga coming out or already out. He's already got like 4 volumes out written, and he's working on illustration. So props to him, and props to just everyone that's just been on my timeline and my feeds here lately on my social media. Just everyone, just big inspiration to do more of this, more content work, more content creation. I've got a bunch of ideas, just flowing through my head. Like I said, I got the alcohol. I want to do the alcohol thing. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, especially with my Instagram or whatever have you. I have I follow a lot of people who do clothing and fashion because I want to one day do clothing and fashion. And I had this crazy idea. So hear me out. So I had this crazy idea of Elroy's World Broadcasting, right? And it's funny how Instagram now has a broadcasting. You can do a broadcasting type beat thing with your followers. But so I did a episode or a live on Instagram, and essentially on the broadcasting was going to be talking about content creators that I've been watching, and some of them 9 times out of 10 they do the same thing. And so just the announcers off Tekken 8, for example, or Need for Speed, or Burnout, they're talking Cash Monkey, they're instigating different racers or whatever have you. They're just instigating stuff and really hyping up the scene or whatever have you. And so that's what I wanted to do. And so on the live streams, I would basically be shouting out this content creator and that content creator. And so a week straight, what I would do is engage with all these content creators on Instagram, right? And I'll make a small little list of content creators who are doing the same thing, and comment, how a regular comment with the heart fire emoji, the earth and heart fire emoji. That's hashtag that. I'm hashtagging that, and so I'll make a little list and I'll put it in their comment section. And so the idea of doing that is essentially I'm commenting on their page, right? The people, the list, right? Those people, right, can see what I tagged them on, and vice versa. And so then the people that follow me can go to that post that I made the list on. The people that I list, their followers can go to that post, and vice versa as well. So the algorithm is easily already calibrating, hey, all these people do the exact same thing in the exact same way. For like example, if you do videos of making clothes, right? But you don't wear the said clothes, you just make the clothes. So I would tag other people who have similar video styles, or even same the way they make the same clothes, so to speak. Tag them all in, and so the algorithm will pick up all that. And so every single time, someone likes one or the other person, right? Whether it's in the list, me, or the person that I commented on, right? More and more people will go to them, and so everyone's followers kind of get a mixture of all of our content or wherever have you. And so it's more followers, it's better for the algorithm or whatever, whatnot. And then too, like, it would be really dope to have, like, I don't know, like, say for example in August, right? In August it'll be Blitz season, right? In August, the last week of August is Blitz season. And so on the broadcasting, right, I would be like, oh, such and such just dropped the post. Go check them out right now. Oh, snap, such and such just called out such and such. They've been kind of neck and neck on making posts and making this kind of post. Or, oh, this person's branching out into another sector of doing something that's very similar but not quite the same. They're kind of branching out and doing something different. Go check them out and stuff like that. And so it's just really like a big shout out and big promotion to content creators that I follow, and people like that type of content and like watching that content. Because I myself, I've made my algorithm on my Instagram to a point where I don't see nothing I don't like. I don't see ads. I don't see random other people's posts or pages. Like, if it's not something that's inspiring me, motivating me, to make content or doing what I'm doing or doing what I'm interested in, I don't see it, right? And so since I've modeled and conformed my algorithm that way, I can easily, Hadouken towards it somebody else, and now my algorithm and that algorithm starts mismatching, and so we'll start seeing the same people. And when that happens, boom, bang, pow, I'm seeing what they're seeing what I'm seeing, and it's all flowing together very, very smoothly. And I wanted to do something like that, but that takes me like being on Instagram 24/7, which I wouldn't mind doing, but I gotta have a life eventually. But that's one crazy idea that I had, and just like I said, I love seeing everyone, especially today. I've been seeing a lot of inspirational, motivational posts and creations on Instagram. So shout out to you if you're on Instagram and you making it really happen. Man. So I've been writing. Yeah. I've been writing. I have 2 books I want to write. Well, hold on. Let me back it up. So to the clothing, me wanting to make clothing, and this is exclusive to you all who subscribe and liking this. I've told a few people, mainly women, right, to get their opinion about it. But so the clothes I want to make like regular street clothes, men and women. But I honestly, and this might be off-putting to some people, I want to make clothing for the LGBTQ community, and particularly transgender women and transgender men. I feel that is a niche market, but I also feel like it's a very untapped market, and I feel like there is something to gain from that, like capital. Like, there's good capital within that, and there's no one really tapping into it, right? And when I bring this up to women, they're just like, yeah, go for it, you know what I mean? And I feel like my ideas of what I want to what I want to do with the type of fashion designs I want to do. I think transgender women and men would really appreciate that. They would really like that, the ideas that I have. Also, well, with that idea of making that particular type of clothing, I know there would be some challenges, but at the same time, like, why is that so far fetched, right? Like, if it sounds far fetched to you, why is that so far fetched? Have you seen fashion these days? Have you seen a Met Gala like show before? Like, the themes and the ideas and designs that they come up with, that's acceptable, right? That is out in the whole entire world. That is what's called fashion nowadays. But, making clothes for particularly transgender women, transgender men, that may not be acceptable. They spend money just like we do. You know what I mean? There ain't no difference. Money's money. It's gonna spend, right? And so, I don't know. That's one thing. That's one like clothing idea line I want to do. Another one I want to do is I want to make clothing for pregnant women, and I want to make it sexy. Hear me out. Now, women are you're just pregnant for 9 months. For 9 months straight, right? For 9 months straight. You can go back to being in your sexy clothes, whatever have you, but the mental and emotional damages sometimes that come with being pregnant before, during, and after pregnancy can last a whole entire lifetime, right? Now, I fully 100% believe that my ideas for my clothing for pregnant women, and like more sexier, comfortable yet sexy, also maybe a blend of casual, that it could curve or even completely deplete those type of mental issues that women have before, during, and after pregnancy. And when I bring this up to other women, they're like, do it. I have problems with finding bra sizes. I have problems, with weight and feeling confident and just stuff like that and whatever have you. And so the like how this idea came to be was that, what, as a guy, you feel confident, right? What makes a guy feel confident, right? Achieving something or whatever have you, right? Whereas, what's the equivalent to women? In my mind, is being sexy, right? No matter if you're on your period, ups, downs, breakups, funerals, whatever have you, right? There's nothing on this planet more attractive, seductive, more appealing, more enticing, interesting than a woman that's confident. And what makes women confident? Feeling comfortable in their own body and their own skin, right? And sometimes during pregnancies, or before pregnancies, or most of the time after pregnancy, they lose that, right? They don't know their body anymore. They don't know, how they feel about their body, how they feel about the attention, having pregnancy attention is mad different than after pregnancy attention. Like, that's an actual, like, scientific thing. Like, some women, like, lose their ish because I'm 14 minutes in, I can cuss now, yay. Some women, like, lose their ish because they don't have the same attention as they did when they're pregnant. This is like an actual psychological thing that happens to the woman's brain, right? And so I feel like my clothing line for, like, pregnant women, and of course it's going to be adaptive. Like, it's going to be adaptable. Like, you can wear it before your pregnancy. There's going to be certain pieces before pregnancy. But the main core of the line is going to be, like, during pregnancy, right? Because once you get out of pregnancy, you know what I mean? Though it's almost like everlasting, like, effects, You know what I mean? The mental, the hormones are still going, and this, that, and the third. There's certain hormones and pheromones still going on throughout the body. It's still lasting through. You know what I mean? You still got what. There's a reason why we call the baby weight. You know what I mean? You still got your baby weight. You never lost your baby weight, right? And then that baby weight, if you don't lose it, it turns into your weight, right? so it's like how do you still capture the sexiness before you was pregnant? You know what I mean? That's what I want to do with that clothing line. That's my first time ever broadcasting this out into the world. Man, so enough about that. I've been writing, like I said. I've been writing. I've got 2 books I've started writing. I've been trying to get in the habit of at least writing either a paragraph or a sentence, just get into the habit. I'll admit I've been slipping. It's just really hard to have good solid motivation around these times, during these days. You know what I mean? I'm battling, intrusive thoughts, bad intrusive thoughts. My living situation. I don't have really a support system. And so it's really hard to find and hold and maintain good, healthy, motivational avenues or hubs for me at this time. But I'm trying. But when I do it, like when I'm there typing away, I explode, and then I kind of lean off a little bit, and then I explode again, and then I lean off for a little while. Sometimes more, sometimes longer than I care to admit to, but it does happen. But it's a process, and I'm being patient with it. So my 2 books that that I'm starting to write. One is about relationships, and essentially it's going to be my take on modern relationships, the dynamics of relationships nowadays, as well, just like my philosophy on what it is and what it takes to be in a relationship. I feel like my philosophy is out there, but a lot of people don't know a lot about it, or don't know that it even exists, right? And I feel like my writings will bring more of a spotlight onto it, and I really feel that people need to know more about the philosophy that I have in my mind, because let's be frank, like the world to the man is vastly different. You know what I mean? It's vastly different, and the man towards the world is very, very strange times, and vice versa. And well, on the flip side, the world to women is it's almost getting a little concerning, and the women towards the world it's almost disturbing at a lot of times in a lot of spaces, and I feel like I'm a good person to write something that's worthwhile reading. Tongue twisters. English is hard. I'm learning that as I get older. But no, I feel like it's worth the read. Dang it! It's worth the read, because throughout my entire life, people have always came to me about their relationships, even like their like intimate in bedrooms relationships, especially women. Like women, I guess women treat me like I'm their gay brother. Yeah, like, so not only am I in the friend zone, but I'm also gay in the friend zone. That's one hell of a level of comfortability right there for me. I mean, man. But yeah, and so and I also want to inspire to be a sex therapist, a sexologist. I want to be the one that studies and learns about sexuality and sexual habits, the reason why you have that kink or this, that, and the third, whatever have you. And if you know me behind this screen, if you truly know me, you grew up with me, and you know that, like, psychology, therapy, sexology, sex therapy, all that is me. It's right up my alleyway. You know what I mean? So people have always came to me about it, and I really want to share that to the world. Once again, YouTube, don't cancel my video. I'm talking about sex in an educational way. Okay, talking about sex in an educational way. Okay, and God, and please don't, because people probably need to hear this. As much sexual diseases out here spreading out through the world, and throat cancer, and this, that, and the third. Like, we need more people like me out here expressing educational side of sex and sexuality. Okay, we need more people like me. So please don't bury me in a bunch of hoopla, right? But yeah, I'm writing that. I'm writing that up. It's a slow process, but yeah, I think people will like it. I think people will understand it. It's very digestible. So far, what I've read, very, very digestible. I don't know if I'm going to have like a bunch of like examples of this person and that book and this book. I really want to keep it like raw and to what I've observed throughout my years of hearing just regular people talk about their relationships. Of course, I won't say any names or bring up any type of sensitive materials from people that I've heard, but I'm definitely going to give my opinion about it, because I feel like a lot of times what I hear in relationships, especially with women, is that like they want that same type of traditional lifestyle, but we don't live in those times anymore. Like women are in the workforce and they're killing it in the workforce. Like, you can't expect to have that back home when outside in the world. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just leave it right there, and then, well, I'll add to it as well as guys want that same thing too. And like, once again, we don't live in that world anymore. You know what I mean? I've expressed quite a bit about relationships and the dynamics on TikTok and Instagram quite a bit. I always tell my friends, like, we don't live in the times of our grandparents, or even of our fathers and of our fathers and mothers anymore. Like, it's vastly different. And if we don't, really understand and get it together where we're at, then we're going to be in a clutch moment. And if we don't make that right moment, we're going to end up like other countries like Japan. I hate to put it out there. I love my Japan people. I love your culture and all that. But y'all's relationship is crazy. Y'all dynamics is like, I don't want to live in a country where 10 out of 10 people, both men and women, prefer working over finding love. Would rather slave away at a 9-to-5 job, working flipping burgers or being a manager at a retail store, than actually being at home, working at your own business, working from home, that type of thing. I don't want to live in that type of country, and so this is my way of combating that. You know what I mean? And so I think it'll be really cool. Put down in the comments down below some books to read. I've read majority of the mainstream books to save you some time, save me some reading. I've read majority of the mainstream books, like Love Language. I've read that book. I've read a couple other books. I can't name them off the top of my head. That's the first one that popped in my head, though. I've read most of the mainstream, most popular books. I've read a lot of theses. I've listened to a lot of relationship coaches and stuff like that. I'm always watching their type of content, and so I'm pretty hip. I'm pretty hip to that. So, but second book. Second book is I don't know how to really explain it, so I'm gonna just say it. The second book is essentially going to be, the core of it is going to be about my dreams, and dream work. If you know, you know. And it's going to tap in a little bit about the dream, what was happening in my life during that time of my dream, and in astral projection, right? It's almost going to be like a how-to astral project, not necessarily like step-by-step how-to, but I'll explain in my own words what I experience, and I feel like my experience can be relatable to quite a few people, enough to sell books, right? To be able to be like, oh, so that's what that means, my dream and stuff, and here for, so forth and so forth and so forth. I really wanted FAFO, hashtag FAFO, fuck around and find out, you feel me? I wanted FAFO to be kind of like that outlet for me, to really express and talk about, you know, the supernatural, the paranormal, spirituality, that sort of beat. Like, I wanted to take FAFO and be like, you know, have interviews with other paranormal investigators like Sam and Kobe, the boys, the twins. If you watch paranormal investigation content on YouTube, you know who I'm talking about. If you don't, just watch like the boys, and eventually over time, you know, they'll all pop up. But yeah, they got good content, good work for sure. But I want to interview those guys and like really get in deep about the theories behind just the spirit and spirit hunting, you know. Really like chalk it up and talk about it. I don't see a lot of people talking about it so much, you know what I mean? A lot of people are fearful of it. The main masses really fearful of it, and I think the only reason why they're fear of it is because no one's really talking about it in like an in-depth theory, you know. I wanted to do interviews of people who work and or live at haunted houses, like the haunted houses that have tours, right? And they'll really talk about their experiences and what it means for them, and you know, their experiences being at their site, but also personal experiences, what they've learned, you know what I mean? And just like, I can talk about it for days. I've had personal experiences myself, and I don't have anybody to talk to about. So if you've ever had a spiritual experience or a spiritual awakening, as they say, or a supernatural experience, comment down below, you know. I would love to interview Dr. Diaspora. He has a book called How to Become Supernatural, and I suggest this book. I highly suggest this book, especially to those who have a scientific mind, because in that book, Dr. Dr. D, let's just say that. I'm just for sake of the conversation, Dr. D beautifully illustrates and articulates both sides of the spirituality, the paranormal, and the scientific and the mathematic so beautifully. If you have a spiritual mind, he acknowledges you in the book, and he addresses you in the book. If you have a scientific mind, he acknowledges you in the book, and he addresses you in the book, and then he just molds it in so beautifully, so well. If you like actually hard books, actually I have a copy of it. It's an amazing read. It's called How to Become Supernatural by Dr. Joe Disaspa. It just melts in a way. I always recommend it to someone who's like a straight up don't believe in like chakras or cheese, or don't believe in supernatural or paranormal, don't believe in meditation or even prayer for that matter. I always tell them, read that book, and then you come back to me. I've had 2 people in my life since I've read that book and I recommended that book. I've had 2 people come back to me. And one person said, I get it now. They were like, I get it now. I really can't grasp all of it because it's a lot. If you're a scientific mind, it's a lot to grasp, because he formulates and calculated to where you can't be like, there's no way but no, it's real. It's a real thing. This stuff has been studied for millennium now, for years and years and years, 100,000 decades. It's been known, right? But here in America, we don't, right? But he modes it, and dude was just like, I get it. And he only read, what he say, like 3 chapters. He had to put it down because it was so much to digest for him. And this is someone who had a scientific, mathematical mind. And he was just like, I get it now. It's all clicked. It all makes sense. So I highly suggest that book. And so, but yeah, I would love to have him on the channel and interview him and talk to him about, supernatural and the paranormal and stuff like that. The book that I want to write is going to talk a lot about astral projection and lucid dreaming. From what I've been told from palm readers and even a couple mediums, that I've done a lot of astral projection. Like, I've done a lot of traveling. So I'm a vet. You know what I mean? I'm a pure vet into this type of work. And if you ever been around me, like, once again, I could talk about this for like days and days and days and days and days and days about this stuff. And like, I don't even know, like, real quick, like, so sleep is a cousin of death, right? It's like, sleep is like death with no commitment. If you know, you know. Right? And at death, it's supposedly at death, MDMA, LSD, all these substances that make you hallucinate, right, release when you die. So is it safe to say, when you lucid dream, right, you go into a dream, right, is it safe to say that you're just on a hippie trip? Because if that's the case, where are you tripping to? Because they say that dreams are glimpses or moments into another reality. Now you can take mushrooms and trip right now within this reality consciously. So if you can trip in reality and have this trip of reality, does that mean that somewhere in another reality you are living another reality, right? But you're sleeping while you're tripping in this reality. Does that make sense? I might be hard to confuse. I don't know. I'm on to something. There's something there. I haven't fully fleshed it out, but there's something there. Like in another reality, you're asleep. But if you trip in this reality, if you trip while you're waking, like you're waking up, you're tripping, does the other you in the other reality dream of this trip? Of the trip that you're tripping on in this reality? While you're consciously awake? Because the only way to talk to your subconscious mind, right? The only way to talk to your subconscious mind while you're asleep. If I recorded myself right now, I'm gonna make $1 million today. I'm gonna wake up and make $1 million today. I'm gonna make $1 million today. The only way I can tell myself and program my brain, right, and talk to my subconscious self is if I fall asleep, right? And your subconscious self is connected to the universe. It's connected to reality, right? You can't see, smell, taste, hear, touch your subconscious mind, but you know what else you can't see, touch, taste, or feel? The universe. Even more so, you can't see the universe at work unless you know the signs. Unless you see the signs and know the signs and know how to transmute the signs. I don't know. That was a sloppy dish for you. That was a sloppy dish. Let me cook though. Let me come back to you, and I'm gonna cook something up though. I'm gonna cook something up for you though. For real. And then, like, bro, all these ideas in my head, I gotta get them out. Gotta get them out, man. Gotta get them out, man. Oh, gotta get them out, man. And I just, I don't know where to start sometimes. And progress and this and that and third and slow progress, slow motion is still motion, and we keeping it pushing. You feel me? So, to the meat and potatoes. Before I get to the meat and potatoes, please comment down below. You know what I mean? If you ever had any supernatural experiences, or if you think or know you're clairvoyant, medium, psychic, whatever, holla at me, let me know. Let's put in work. Let's do the digs. You know what I mean? Let's conversate. Let's communicate. Shout out to you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. I love all my subscribers. Oh, can you tell I really don't want to bring up this story? Like, I really don't want to talk about this story. But if I already did it, and this video is getting extra long, but I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta take a tea rip. You know what I mean? I gotta take a tea rip. Excuse me one sec. So last Friday, my mom tried to run me over. I'm guessing for Christmas. I honestly don't know. Here we go. So, last Friday, I was going to work with someone on a collab. His name's Nico. He's on TikTok. I wish I had my phone. I would do some editing or something. Pop his little handle somewhere or something like that. But we were in the dunes, and we were just chatting up, talking about ideas and stuff like that, and philosophies and stuff. We were getting pretty deep, but we were drinking as well. And so I passed out. I laid down, I passed out, he left, and so forth. When I woke up, all my covers on me were off me. I had 2 hoodies on at a time because it was really, really cold. I easily want to say in the 20s, high 20s. My hat was off, and it just kind of looked like someone pulled off my hoodies and just kind of lousily threw my covers off me to the side or whatever happened. And my coat was missing too. One of my coats were missing. And so I decided, maybe I drunkenly walked to the store or whatever have you. So I walked to the store. I told, sorry, my phone is ringing and it's nowhere near me. Please stop. And so I walked to the store, but when I came back, I'm missing some things. So the covers were off me, my hoodies were off me, and things of that nature. Now my mom, when I got here with Nico, he and I seen that my mom wasn't here, right? And when I woke up, my mom wasn't here. But when I went to the store and asked them, like, hey, did I take off a coat in here by chance, drunkenly? Or, did someone take the coat off me? Or, like, what did I have on? It was like, you just had this red hoodie on, right? I was just like, okay, that's mad interesting. When I walked back, my mom was in the parking lot, was in the driveway. As soon as I got, maybe I want to say like 12 steps away from the driveway, she proceeds to just drive straight towards me, like vroom, and tried to run me over in the middle of the street. I proceeded to run into the front of the yard, and she goes down the street, busts a big Yui, and just proceeds to just ram it. There's a creek on the side of the dunes right here. She almost clipped into that and almost tumbled over the car. She almost hit her other car that's in the driveway. And she's just driving straight for me. I'm dodging it left and right. I'm like, what's going on? What happened? What is this about? And like, she's not rolling down the window, and she's just hollering through the window, and I can hear her make out say like, you and another person was trying to kicked in the door. She said, and I quote, kicked in the door and tried to harm her and tried to beat her up. Right? And I looked at the door and I seen like the door was already, first and foremost, the door was already messed up as is. And I proceeded to, it had gotten worse or somehow. I don't know. But I checked in with Nico. I don't know. It just didn't add up. And then she said, and I quote, you were banging at the door. I let you in. You grabbed my arm. And I'm just like, none of this is making sense. My phone didn't blow up from anybody. First and foremost, I ended up in jail. Something like that would happen. I would probably end up sleeping in jail. But I woke up right here. I didn't end up in the house. Why would you let me in the house? Why would I be in the house and not sleep in the house and you leave or something like that? Or you go to the neighbors or something like that. My phone wasn't blowing up. I ain't missed a bunch of calls from my sister or any of her nieces or nephews to calm me down, or even my father for that matter. None of the neighbors came over and watched me or tried to calm me down. None of that whatsoever. And so I'm just like, none of that makes sense, because in that case, why am I not in jail? Why did I wake up just in my shirt and jeans with my covers thrown everywhere, my hoodie's off me, and my coat missing? And she was like, oh, don't ask me about that coat. Don't ask me about that coat. And I was just like, what do you mean? I wasn't asking you about that coat. Now you're looking mad sus. Like, that doesn't make sense. Why are you automatically assuming I'm asking you about the coat? I just said my coat's missing. But why are you voluntarily saying you don't know where the coat is? You know what I mean? And so this goes on for a good solid, like, at least 15-20 minutes of her trying to back in, back out, trying to run me over. It's like 3 o'clock, almost 4 o'clock in the morning at this point. Smoke them if you got them. And I'm all types of confuddled, because this is not the first time my mother has done this. This is not the first time where my mother has made up a narrative, or has made up a complete whole scenario and situation, complete set up a whole scenario in where I have tried to harm her or abuse her or something like that. This is nothing new. And so I'm very conflicted. I'm safe now. Definitely have PTSD. I feel kind of funny crossing streets now. I feel mad funny with walking in front or behind cars that are moving now. 100%. That is a thing. Definitely need to hop into therapy. I'm so mad that my phone it crashed out on me because like, gosh darn it, I need to find some way to get into therapy for sure off the back of that. But yeah, it was just really weird, really strange. It just none of it made sense. Plus some way somehow I ate a chocolate bar and threw up like everywhere too. So that's even worse. So not only am I hungover, I'm sick from eating chocolate with a gut full of liquor in my belly. My mom's trying to run me over. It was just a really hot mess. I don't know how I really feel. Since my phone has crashed out, I don't know if she has tried to call me. That might have been her. Knowing the universe, that was probably her. Her trying to call me or whatever have you. But yeah, I still don't know what really all happened. I can't deny nor accept any type of responsibility. And if you go on my TikTok, when she blooped on me about getting her some applesauce. She blooped out on me about getting some applesauce, and I'm like, you bring up me trying to kick in the door, and you say you have photos. You say you have photos. Okay, can I see them? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I don't believe you, but I need to see them. I need them for me to see. So consciously and subconsciously, when I see that, I know that I'm trying to make my brain take responsibility so I won't do it again. And that's another thing too. Like, that's one thing I've learned about, especially with my mental health, but just anything, is that anytime I've tried to come up forth and take actual responsibility, wanting to know responsibility, and wanting to take accountability of my actions, they're nowhere to be found. You know what I mean? Like, if because my philosophy is like this: if you know better, you do better. But for some odd reason, in like situations like we're talking about right now, no one tells me the know-how to do better. No one tells me the know-how to do better. Some way, somehow, it's unknown. So it tells me, and I've learned this especially through my mental health journey and healing journey, that it tells me that the people around me don't want me to be better. In some way, shape, form, or fashion, they get a kick out of it, or they feel some empowerment, or they frankly want me to be in a position where I feel vulnerable and lost. And it takes them it takes them off their pivot a little bit when I'm asking, show me, tell me, you know what I mean, provide actual evidence, you know what I mean? Because if I'm trying to kick in the door and I'm trying to harm my mother, why is there no police report being done? Why don't the neighbors know? In any other case, I would have been gotten phone calls. People would have known this and that. The neighbors would have known. The neighbors would have called the police if something like that would happen. But like I said beforehand, this is not the first time my mother has set up a complete scenario when I'm in a vulnerable state, like intoxicated, for example, and has set me up to make me look to be like I'm a villain, like I'm a bad guy, like I'm an evil person. gosh, I probably missed a couple things here and there. I'm slightly drained just talking about it. My little homie Jody, the little broski, he was over here yesterday, and I told him about it earlier this week on Instagram, and then he came over yesterday, and he was like, "Bro, I see the tire marks, bro. Like, you was not lying. Like, she really tried to run you over." I was just like, "Yeah, yeah, that's a real thing. Why am I going to make that up about something like that? You know what I mean? Of course, the obvious thing is to make a report or make a police report or something like that. But like, frankly, where my mind goes is like, who's going to believe it? What judge is really going to believe it unless I have it on video? I swear I had a video, or at least I know for a fact that I was recording it. I don't know what happened to a recording of her actually trying to run me over. I don't know, maybe in the mix of everything, I didn't save it, or I didn't put it in the draft on TikTok or something of that nature. I just can't find it, and it's even worse that my phone's crashed. So I don't even know. But like I said, who's going to believe me? Anyways, what judge is really going to believe me? Because no matter what, even people now is going to look at it as like, I'm a man, she's a woman, I'm much younger, she's much older. I'm making ways to get away from her, and frankly, she can do whatever she wants to, and whether she's in the right or in the wrong, she's going to get the benefit of the doubt. She's going to be believed. And so, like I've said before in multiple of my episodes, who's going to believe me? Unless I tell the story, unless I document it, who's really going to believe me? And so, with that being said, I love you. Shout out to all 58 of my subscribers. Please subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below. Once again, comment, entrepreneurs, sidekicks, mediums, ghost hunters. Let me hear your voice. Let me hear you loud and proud. Down in the comment section. All I ask for this holiday is to please hit that like button, share, subscribe, go to my other platforms, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, X, all those. At least just like one video. Hit that share if you can. Share on your stories, share on your timelines. And remember, somebody, somewhere, someone loves you. And I'm out.